this job is going to disappear, that job is going to disappear. And when you look back in history and you see certain technologies that we take for granted now, for example, when I was in school, I remember taking a printing press stuff. Mm-hmm. Printing is done so differently now than it was done back then that whatever career I might have entered into probably doesn't exist anymore. Right? Or like darkroom skills, photography.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. But still, we all found a place for ourselves. So how does it all work out?
Well, I mean, I think that if you really look historically, what you've seen is that over the last 100 years is that we have continued waves of innovation and change. And overall, from an economy perspective, is that you see there's always more jobs that are produced than the ones that are taken away. I think where we really run into, I'm going to say the fear and the questions right now is that things are changing so fast, is that it's no longer this slow transition to, ATMs suddenly being a part of our banks or, assembly lines being a part of our manufacturing plants, and it's becoming more of, I'm going to say, a component of what companies are having to deal with that says it's not just about putting, a kiosk in a McDonald's, rather it's how you look at it holistically that says, how do I retrain my new people now that I'm going to need not just, folks to run the back end, but I actually need people to maintain these systems. I need people to program these systems, and I'm going to have all new roles, that are going to be created by this new technology. And the same way I have to transition all the people who were in the old roles that, may not exist anymore.
So we have to learn to think new. We can't be stubborn and stick to the old ways because the new ways are going to happen, and we have to figure out how to keep the workforce updated as well as the equipment. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. I mean, we're going to end up with, we're in this reality that says if you're not actively moving forward and advancing, well, guess what? Your competitors or startups are going to. And you're going to very fast, become irrelevant if you can't keep up. And that's the world that we live in. But the nice piece about it is that what we're finding is that the folks that are actually getting ahead and are able to move the fastest are the ones that are keeping people very squarely in the center of what they're trying to do. And that's both from the consumer's perspective that says, how do I provide not just gadgets, but things that are actually going to make people's lives better? And then from the employee side of things, it's a matter of saying, how am I creating a culture that's going to be adaptable and constantly evolve every time I'm going to evolve my company? Because this is not the first nor the last time that every company is going to have to change based off of some new technology that's going to come out.
And when you're talking about IT professionals, sometimes their work can be done at home, and it doesn't have to be done at an on-site office building, thereby decreasing the office space.
Absolutely, and there's lots of different things that we're going to see. One of the interesting things that I've seen where people are really doing these different things is that Arizona State University is that they're currently looking at how they can use online bots to teach their math courses. And it's you imagine your first year in college and all those big stadium style seatings, where the front row is full of people, eager to listen to the professor, and then you've got the slackers siding in the back.
Right.
Those types of things may not exist for people being born today. But instead, what you're looking at is somebody trying to figure out how they could do things differently and potentially better. Is because that computer screen and those bots allow you to have an individualized and personalized education that understands what you've already know so you can skip past it, understands what things you're having trouble with in order to give you more attention, allows you to learn through visual means, through collaboration with other students, through projects, or whatever way you learn best to kind of get through that material.
Yeah, I mean, how many times when you were in school did you wish you could rewind the teacher? Because what did she say? What did he say? I wasn't. With a computer, you could kind of stop it and go back a little bit, I would think. Am I right about that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, and not to mention, you think about, the person that you hated because they kept raising their hand and they kept slowing them down for a part that you already got.
Ah, yes, absolutely, yeah.
And it's all of the above that are changing. I think that the important thing to realize, though, is that it's not just about I suddenly am replacing out my professors and my TAs, because you're actually not replacing them. They still exist. They just have to do new things. So now that they're pre-recording their lectures so people can watch it and rewind it, they're doing more research to get more source material and create more activities and more new ways, for people to really engage with the material. But suddenly you now have professors and TAs that their daily lives of what they do is fundamentally different, and the results are actually better. They're seeing, an increased pass rate, for the classes, and for about half the students, they're completing the courses, in 40% less time than it took them before.
And they're not teaching to the test. They're actually getting learning skills. I've often wondered, here's an internal debate. Did I learn as a student because I wanted to please the teacher, or did I learn as a student because I wanted to learn? And if there's no teacher in front of me but a computer screen, do I have anything invested at all in wanting that entity to, I don't know, to like me? You want the teacher to like you. So, I'm going to learn this because I like that teacher. I want him or her to like me, I think wanting to learn's got to be the most important thing now, because it's not the teacher anymore so much.
No, I think so. And I think that what we're going to end up seeing, is that we're going to start to, I'm going to say earlier and early on, pressure folks for that drive that says not only do I want to learn, but they're going to have to start to figure out what do they want to learn. We're so,
yes.
We've been pushing so long this idea of a very general education. And what we're seeing is that things are getting more and more specialized.
Well,
and I think we're about...
Yeah, and what you want to do eventually to earn a living. Last Thanksgiving, I don't know if you know who Kim Commando is. She does a national syndicated radio show, and she talks about technology. And last Thanksgiving, she predicted that by this Thanksgiving, Amazon or one of the companies would start to deliver packages with drones. And I know it was in the news, but she made a prediction that it would be this Thanksgiving. Well, it's already June.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, because we work at the mall here, that's where the radio station is, and I see the UPS guys, the FedEx guys all the time, and I'm wondering, are they going to start to disappear because we're going to see drones delivering packages instead of men?
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to see a combination of different things, because I know that, right now you're going to see, folks like DSL are actually using drones, but they're using them in very specific circumstances that says, in rural places where you may not have access to things, so you've got, people sitting in communities that, are over mountains, that DSL driver, in that large truck may be really hard to get to, and so they're popping drones back and forth.
Yeah.
And so you are going to see a lot of these changes, but I think what you're also going to see is that a lot of, of these things working together, and so it may be that you're going to use drones, but for all intents and purposes is that you may end up with a DSL driver that moves to an area first and then starts loading up the drones to deliver to that area and then moves to the next one.
Oh, I like that.
idea.
You're a forward thinker.
Idea.
Michael Biltz, thank you so much. I want to be sure the listeners can look at the report, the 2016 technology report. Is there a website where we can do that?
Yep, go to www.accenture.com, ACCENTURE, or you can just Google Accenture Technology Vision.
All right, it's a fascinating topic for sure. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for being on the air with us. We will be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3